Okay, so I adjusted the antenna. I got it a little bit higher off the ground, better pattern, I think. And then I also took the counterpoise off because I wanted to see what it would do without the counterpoise. And wow, it's very interesting, really. And I also thought, you know, hey, it's only supposed to go to 80, but why not try it on 160? And so I've got the sweep here set for 1.8 megahertz to 28.9. And sweep it again. As you can see from the results on number one up here, right, which is at 1.8 megahertz, it's got a SWR of 1 to 1.12 and a return loss of 24.747 and reading 58 impedance of 55.8 ohms. Interesting. So and then on 15. Let's see. Drop this. Let's go to number 2. Let's put that on 20, which would be 14. 14251, for instance. We have right here. We have an SWR of 1 to 1.141 with a return loss of 23.6 and an impedance of 55.6. Let's see. Let's go to number 3 marker, which is out here on the 28. Look at this 2800 band. Look at this thing, from 28.9 all the way back to, what's this here? That's 24 megahertz. We've got, yeah, some interesting SWR, some real low SWR all the way here on out. That's pretty incredible. That's without the counterpoise and with the antenna being rerouted to get more elevation out of it and a better pattern. I had a kind of inverted, horizontal inverted V thing going, and so I wanted to get more of an L, a horizontal L shape. So it leaves the back of the house here. And it goes from the 9 to 1 unun, and it goes to the back corner of my lot on the left hand side up to about 20 feet off the ground. Then it goes across the back side of my lot over to the right side of the back, and it comes down to about 10 feet off the ground, and then from there it slopes down at another angle down to about 5 feet off the ground, coming east and west, but that's just a small leg. That was just like the excess that I couldn't fit on the lot with a 70-foot wire. So that's about maybe 5, 6 feet of wire that does that, that has that final turn there. So it goes out to the back side of the lot, 20 feet up, goes over to the other side of the lot, it comes down to about 10 feet off the ground, and then comes down to about 6 feet off the ground, about 5 feet from the back corner of the lot. And looks like, and I took the counterpoise off. Now I'm going to go put the counterpoise back on, and I'll pause the video and we'll put the counterpoise back on. Let's run it again and see what it gets with the counterpoise off, or counterpoise on. This is what it is. This is with it off right now. So I'll put the counterpoise back on, which is 31 feet of counterpoise. I'll go put that back on and we'll run the sweep again. Okay, so I'm back. I've got the counterpoise on now, and we're going to run it again and see what we get here. Wow. 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 Even better it looks like here. Yeah. Look at this spike right here. This is just kind of weird. Well, anyway, let's just cover the band. So 1.8, I've got a VSWR of 1 to 1.1 and minus 25 dB. And again, the ohms is still impedance at 55. Okay. Now this spike right here is at 1.8. Is that right? No. At 4.27. 4.27. Nothing in the band at all. We're good. So that's weird though. 4.27. Weird. And at 4.27 we get a SWR of 11, 1 to 11, and a return loss of -1. See? So interesting. Anyway, not gonna worry about that. It's not the band. But now listen. After that point, turn this all the way back out. After that point, if you just follow along right here on number 1, I'm going to run this number 1 along here, and you see that after that point, man, this is, look at that. Look at that SWR. It's all below, just all the way out and across here. It's crazy. And the thing is that the you know, there's some spikes in this return loss here, and I don't fully understand return loss. I just know that the return loss between 20 and 25 is pretty good. And I think 30 is good too, but I'm not sure of that. It's something I was taught by an Elmer who knows what he's doing, not just, you know, playing around like I am. He really knows what he's doing. So he told me to keep an eye on that too, because that's important, and so I do. And yeah, I've noticed that I can get a low SWR and have a very low return loss, and it doesn't do very well. But when my return loss is up here in the between 15 and 25, and I've got a low SWR, I get a good. I usually get good results transmitting and receiving. So anyway, there we are. That's it with the counterpoise. I think I'll leave the counterpoise on. That's a 31-foot counterpoise, and much better SWR. And I think and I believe that the return loss is acceptable in here. Certainly in the bands I operate in, like 14 and 20 meters, 14. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with this. Maybe I don't know any better than to not be happy for it, but I'm happy with it, so maybe I don't know any better than to be happy with it, so I don't know. Anyway, that's it, man. What do you think?